Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it is so great to have you. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in the beautiful wine region of Lower Franconia, Germany. So on my channel you will find a lot of content about German culture through my eyes, the eyes of New Zealander. I also talk a lot about my personal experience with learning the German language. It has been a wild ride and I definitely don't hold back or sugarcoat anything when it comes to learning the German language. So in this video today I'm going to be talking about German slang and why I believe it is so important for language learners to understand basic German slang in order to feel a little bit more at ease and more confident and comfortable in social situations here in Germany. So I'm going to be jumping into that very soon. First, I would like to give a huge thanks to today's wonderful sponsor, Lingoda. Lingoda is an incredible online language learning platform which connects you with native speaking teachers through live interactive classes. As a busy mum, finding time to improve my German has not always been easy, which is why I really appreciate the flexibility of Lingoda. So let me tell you about my last class with Lingoda. It was all about cultural identity, and I was a little bit nervous because I do struggle sometimes talking about personal topics in German. My teacher Tanya was actually a German expat living abroad in Africa. She was so lovely and instantly put me at ease. Her unique experiences enriched our discussions, making it more than just a lesson. It honestly felt like a cultural exchange. I practiced discussing complex topics in German, which really boosted my confidence. I loved engaging with my fellow classmates. It made the whole learning experience even more enjoyable. After my class, Tanya provided me with tailored feedback, which was extremely helpful. So if Lingoda sounds like something you're interested in exploring, then check out the Lingoda link in my description. I will also leave the link in my channel bio. I remember so well in the early years of moving to Germany and learning the German language, I would feel very nervous and out of place in social situations where a whole bunch of native German speakers are getting together and just chatting, just really casual, relaxed situations, and they're throwing in lots of slang words, and I just remember feeling very confused, and my brain was just constantly trying to work out what they were saying. That's why I thought I'd share some pretty commonly used German slang words or phrases that you will most likely hear in Germany, and it's just really good to be aware of these phrases. Even if you don't use them yourself, it's good to understand them so you don't feel lost in conversations and out of place. This German slang word is used all the time in social situations in Germany, but it kind of has a double meaning, so you need to be really careful with this word. This word is geil. So up until the 1970s in Germany, the word geil was predominantly used in a sexual context. And these days, yes, it still can be used in a sexual context, but it's mostly used just as another word for cool or awesome, and it's thrown around a lot in conversations, even between children. A lot of teenagers use this. It's a word that many people use in Germany, and it just means something's really cool. So you'll often hear Germans saying, "Das ist geil." This word can be used in so many different contexts. So you can refer to a really delicious looking meal as geil, or a glass of beer. You can say this about a really good looking person. It's just thrown around so much, and as I said, you even hear kids throwing it around. It does feel a little bit weird when you hear children saying it and you think about the original context of the word, but it's not meant in that way at all when kids are saying it, and most of the time it's not meant in that context. So yeah, it's just an important word to know. I honestly still feel a little bit uncomfortable using this word when I'm speaking to Germans. I feel a little bit kind of try hard. I don't know, I feel like it only sounds cool when Germans are saying it, so I try not to use that word too much. Maybe I should just practice it. Another slang word you hear all the time in Germany is jein, and this is pretty self-explanatory. Jein is a mix between ja and nein. And so ja is yes, nein is no. So it basically just means kind of, or a mix of both. So an example of this would be you ask somebody if they have been to Germany and they reply with jein, and then they go on to explain that yeah, technically they have been to Germany, but they've only been to Berlin and it was when they were really little and they don't remember it. So they've been in Germany, they don't remember it. So technically yes, they have, but not really because they don't remember it. So if somebody asks me, do you like pizza? Magst du Pizza? I could reply with jein, because yeah, I do like pizza, but I have celiac, so I can only eat gluten-free pizza. Another slang phrase you hear all the time in Germany is das ist mir Wurst, which basically means I don't care, or I couldn't care less. And it's kind of funny because it translates to it's sausage to me. It's just kind of like a nonsense saying, but it's used a lot in Germany, at least in the area of Germany where I live. But it's just a good one to know and understand, because if you live in Germany, you're most likely going to hear this one a lot, and it might be kind of confusing if you don't understand what it actually means. Another one you'll hear being thrown around all the time in Germany, I actually like this one, I use this quite a bit myself, and that is Quatsch. Quatsch in English just translates to rubbish or absolute nonsense. So if somebody is talking about something that is really untrue and just silly, you'll say, das ist Quatsch. So Quatsch is taken from the word quatschen in German, which literally translates to talking nonsense. So I think that's a really cool word, and yeah, it's just a good word to know and a good word to use in German. Another commonly used German slang phrase, which I think is really useful to know, is mach's gut. And mach's gut is a phrase just thrown around a lot. So in English, the equivalent would be have a good one. If you are talking to a friend and instead of saying goodbye, you will say have a good one, which means, you know, have a good weekend, or, you know, take it easy, that kind of thing. So it's just a casual way to end a conversation, because sometimes I struggle even now to end conversations in German, and since I've learned how to use the phrase mach's gut, it just kind of ends conversations in a nice, friendly way. Another really good German slang phrase to know is auf jeden Fall, and I use this all the time when I'm speaking German. It's just a phrase that comes up in so many conversations, and it's just a really useful one to know. So an example of this would be if somebody asks you, are you coming to the party this weekend? And you say auf jeden Fall, which means definitely. Another really commonly used German slang phrase is alles klar, and this is used constantly in the German language. I just remember hearing this all the time in all sorts of situations. When I first moved to Germany, I didn't know what it meant. Then when I learned what it meant, I realized it's a really good sort of filler word, just a good phrase to have under your belt. Alles klar just translates literally to everything's clear. I totally understand it. But you can also use alles klar in the context of asking somebody, how are you doing? In Germany, it can be a little bit awkward. I learned that you don't just go around asking people, how are you? Wie geht es dir? How are you in German? Wie geht es dir is used in a slightly different context. It basically means like, how are you feeling? If you ask a German that, you need to have a lot of time on your hands. I've talked about this before, but they are going to be telling you exactly how they are feeling, and it's not something that's thrown around like, how's it going in English. And a lot of English speakers, native English speakers, think that wie geht es dir, wie geht's is a way of saying how's it going. So for me, it just comes naturally to ask somebody how they're doing, and I always used to say wie geht es dir, and I didn't get the answer I was expecting. And then a German friend of mine actually said, you can just say alles klar, which kind of has the same meaning as how's it going, like are you good kind of thing. And a German will just reply, ja, alles klar, danke, und bei dir. So it's just saying, yeah, I'm good, thanks, how are you? Another German slang word that's thrown around all the time in social situations is Bock, and it basically means like, can you be bothered? You could also say, ich habe heute echt keinen Bock auf Arbeit, which means I really don't feel like going to work today. I cannot be bothered. So Bock is just something that means can't be bothered, or in New Zealand we say I can't be stuffed doing that. I really don't feel like it. So a good little slang word to throw in, and it's actually something I use, and it's not a German word that I feel awkward using. Some of the slang phrases I still feel a little bit awkward using. That one is just easy to throw in. So guys, I have come to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Before I go, I just wanted to remind you, if you are interested in checking out the amazing online language learning platform Lingoda, then check out the link in my description. I will also leave the link in my channel bio. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. This is one of the biggest ways you can support my channel. It really helps to get my videos out there and noticed. So a thumbs up would just mean so much to me. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love you to consider subscribing. Also feel free to connect with me on Instagram, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!